Hi, I'm Stavros and welcome to T. Nolan and Sons Scania here in Castleisland in County Kerry. I'm down here to look at the all-new next generation Scania, which is just inside at the moment. And Nolan's are also celebrating 40 years in business, so 1976 to 2016. So big celebrations going on here today and a lot of people already inside looking at the new truck. So let's go inside and have a look. I'm joined now by Thomas Diffley, who's going to talk to us about the all-new Scania series here. He's marketing manager for Scania in Ireland. Thomas.
That's correct, Stavros. We're delighted to be here for the celebrate the 40 years of Nolan's. They're the Scania dealer for the southwest of Ireland. And
so we've two trucks here now, Thomas. We've the S series and the R series. Can you explain the difference between the two models, please?
That's correct. There's 4 new cabs currently launched. There's 2 S cabs, the S Normal and the S Highline, or Normal or Highline. And the S cabs have a completely flat floor, where the R cab have the engine tunnel.
So Thomas is just going to show us a closer look around these trucks now.
And now we're going to take a closer look at the all-new S Series and R Series cabs. The S Series is a V8 cab, where the R Series is a straight 6 450 engine. Now, from the exterior point of view, the S cab has 4 steps entry into the cab, whereas the R cab has the traditional 3-step cab entry. Looking further on the exterior, this truck has the Dura-Bright alloy wheels. We can also look at the interior here with the door open, and we also have a little clip here to open the exterior compartment. One of the biggest changes from the current range is, if you look here, behind this compartment here is you have your lashing down equipment for the ferry, and you also have your toolkit. So to access this, basically you need to unclip off these 2 clips here, and in behind that you will find these new features. The side skirts are totally redesigned as well. There's absolutely no rattle out, and they're very, very robust. And they're also designed in a way as well that it's not too easy to take them off. Moving to the back of the cab, you can see here the batch box is in the same position. One of the major differences on the new cab is the electrics are all positioned in the chassis rails. In the current cab, the electrics are actually in the fuse board. So basically it's able to send signals much quicker because all the electrics are outside, and there's no fear to have with water damage, because they are using the latest IP69. So this is completely waterproof. Moving round to the side here, one of the new features we can see here is instead of having the cab cooler on the roof of the cab cooler, or the parking cooler as some people call it, is now positioned here. Another feature as well, if we pull back this side air deflector, we can see, I'm going to just go up here onto the catwalk, and it is possible to manually adjust the wind deflector. Okay, and to do this, basically, you wind or unwind it to suit the height of your trailer. Okay, I'm just going to step down here again. Okay, we have already opened the front grille of the cab, so I'm just going to lift this. So we have lifted the hatch inside the driver's door, and this will release the latch inside. Now, not only is it a new cab from the exterior, but also when you lift the grille, the engineers have basically redesigned under the grille to make life a lot easier for the mechanics. So it's easier to change this coolant tank here, and also much easier to change radiator and also the cab airbags. Also, the cab is in 3 parts. This part here is metal as well. There's 2 parts for the cab bar. Okay, so there's one here, and the second one is over here. So these 2 parts are joined together, and this is used to manually tilt the cab. It's also possible to order electrical cab tilt. Okay, and if you order the electrical cab tilt, the remote is going to be positioned here. There's also the lower grille comes down step as well if you want to climb up here. There's 2 handles on the top part of the grille here, but I need to push these in first. So if you want to clean the windscreen, you simply step up here, grab the handles, and clean the windscreen. The new lights, they're all LED lights. In the past we'd have H7 and Xenon lights. These are all new LED lights. The lights in the spot lamps are also LED lamps, and there's also spot lamps in the grille. All these spot lamps in the grille and in the roof are optional. There's also spots in the roof. These are 465 looms. It's the market leader in that. Also, if you look at this truck, there's also a new sun visor on it. This is also an option. As you look at the R cab here, we can see there's no sun visor on it, and the marker lamps are actually integrated into the window screen, into the windscreen. If you look at the R cab here, you can also see that there's no spots in the roof as well. Before we take a closer look at the interior of the cab, I just want to point out the new exterior locker. We also have the upper locker as on the current cab today, but we also have a lower locker as well. And this is separate from the cab. So the upper locker can be accessed by lifting the bed, whereas the lower locker cannot be. So basically, if you have any smelly equipment, you can put it in the lower locker and the smell is not going to transfer into the cab itself. Now, to take a closer look at the interior. Now, the first items we can see in this cab, we can clearly see that it has the V8 interior leather package. And part of this V8 interior package, we have the V8 steering wheel with the red stitches. There's also this red marker all around the dash. Also then we have the red stitching on the seats, and also the red stitching on this centre mat. Also part of the V8 package, we can see here on the door, we can see this V8 logo, as well as the V8 stitching on the door card. So this is all part of the V8 package. Also, there's also a light on the back wall, as we can see here, and hitting this switch on the dash here will turn this on. Okay, this cab is known as the single driver concept. And what we mean by this is we have only got one bunk in the bed. This is the largest bunk. It's an extendable bed up to 1 meter. Also on this, we can see that instead of having a bed, we have 3 storage lockers on the back wall, as shown here. There's also interior lighting in the storage compartments. On the current range, we also have these little pockets here for storing phones or other equipment, and over the driver's door as well. This truck also has a possibility to lock the storage. So say for example, there's 2 or 3 drivers driving this truck. The main driver can lock away specialised equipment or food or clothes or whatever he doesn't want the other drivers to see or touch.
And the fridges.
Now, in the current range, you have 1 storage under the bunk. In this one, we have 2. Okay. Now it's possible to get 2 fridges as shown here, or 1 fridge, or 2 storage compartments. And the reason we have 2 fridges in this one is, for example, if the driver wants to have keep food at fridge temperature as possible, but say for example he needs a freezer, well then he can set the fridge to a minus temperature and he can have a fridge and a freezer in the one truck. So we're just going to push these back into place.
Thomas is just going to demonstrate the passenger seat can actually be swiveled, which is a very good feature. And there's also storage underneath the seat as well. It's a very good feature. Swivel the seat around and stretch your legs. And we also have a fold-out table. This is a new design from Scania. Very handy feature.
Very robust.
Yeah. And slides all the way back in, out of the way.
Now we're just going to start the truck to show the new instrument display. On this here now we can see analog and also digital display on the truck. Also you can see here the new a range of buttons are now ergonomically displayed here on very close to the driver. Also here you can see the new infotainment package. This new screen it has 2 SD cards. One is for map data and the second then is for multimedia. So for example, if you wanted to play a video or play music, you can have it here. Your phone is also compatible to display on the screen, so you can have your internet connection, or you can play your music through the radio. Down here you can see this is the air conditioning system, automatic climate control. You've other features then here on the lights, where it's possible to dim the lights, or possible to increase the ambient light. Also, if we hit this switch here, it makes all the interior turn red, and also the V8 lights in the back wall turned on and off. Other features here as well, we can see there's USB charging sockets, and there's USB basically connectivity with the radio. On the new radio, if you have the what's called the C200, which is the tracking system, it is possible to send two-way messages from the phone, from the computer, directly to the screen for the driver. So if you want to change to a different routes or to different drop-offs or pickups, this can be displayed on the screen in front of them. We can have a look at the interior of the R cab. In the R cab, this is a lower specification, so we don't have the V8 styling package. Also in the R cab, you can clearly see that there is what's called an engine tunnel. Okay, and on the S cab, we've seen a completely flat floor, but now we can clearly see, you know, that your cross cab access is slightly hindered. But as you can see, it's still a very, very sizable cab. This truck has twin bunks, lower bunk, upper bunk, and the other cab we're seeing, it was a single driver concept with rear storage compartments and the swivel seats. This truck has the 2 bunks instead. But a handy feature what Scania have done is they're using the same bracketry on both cabs. So for example, if you get the truck in with the bunk, it's very easy to change this to storage because the brackets are the exact same. So you can interchange between the bed or the storage compartments. On this R series, we can see that we have a storage compartment and a fridge. Okay, the fridge is close to the driver's side, so it's easy to grab a cold drink on the drive. On the S series, we had 2 fridge compartments, one can be used as a freezer if the driver so wishes. So we have a fridge here and a storage compartment. As we see here on the R series, we have still have the large instrument cluster here, but on the S series V8, which has the V8 package, we have the red strip around here. But as you can see on this cab, we have the chrome metal strip instead of the red strip.
So Thomas, thank you very much for showing me around today.
You're very welcome. It was only a brief introduction of the new R and S cab, and for more information please contact your Scania dealer and he will be happy to show you the rest of the features.
That's great, Thomas, thank you very much. Cheers now, thanks. So that is what's going on down here in Nolan's. Plenty of activity and people looking at the 2 new model trucks. Absolutely fantastic. Looking very good today. And outside here we have plenty of food. And here we have the barbecue is going on here. Plenty of food being served here today. So the new S series is not the first Scania to have a flat floor in the cab. If you remember the old T cabs that Scania used to build with the engine out in front of the cab. Very nice design and still looks good today. This truck is from 2000, so it's 16 years old. Production officially stopped in 2005 of the T cab. But we'll just hop inside now. Really easy to get in and out of with the 3 steps. And completely flat floor inside, right across. And the old design where the bunk came down over the seats. And we have locker storage space in at the back of the inside of the cab, and there's your bunk that comes down. That was the old design, but it's great to see this truck today here for Nolan's 40th. And the old dashboard design and your gear stick down here. So this truck is just back from Milton Keynes. It was over in the UK yesterday. And that is the old T cab from Scania. So we'll go back inside now and see what else is going on inside. So we're just going to get a few opinions here on the new truck. Your name is?
Eamon O'Connell from Eamon O'Connell Haulage here in County Kerry.
And Eamon, do you have some Scania trucks in your fleet?
I have a 161 Tag 500 and I have a 141 Tag 500, and I've just after purchasing one of the new R450s, which should be in the 24th of this month, I think. So I think they're a very, very well finished truck. A way more room, visibility is a way better from where I'm sitting on the right hand drive. Very well finished. They're completely different from the old one. The only thing that's the same is probably the back mud guards, but a very well finished truck, and maybe in 6 months time we might come back and have another chat and I'll be able to tell you how it is going.
Excellent. Thanks for that. I've got Connor Brennan here in the in the driver's seat. Connor, what do you think of this truck?
She's lovely.
Yeah.
Lovely, yeah.
Will you buy so, yeah?
I will.
There you go, another truck sold. Well done, guys. So that is where I'm going to leave you all today, here from T. Nolan's and Sons Scania dealership here in Castleisland, County Kerry. Thank you all very much for watching, and I will be joining you again tomorrow, where hopefully I get to drive one of these great new trucks. So thank you all very much for watching, and I'll talk to you again very soon. Cheers.